Peace and blessings, guys. This is Gabrielle with Herbally Defined or Mother's Herbal Instincts, and I am finally back here doing another video for you guys. Yes, I had to record it and just upload it instead of going live. I was having difficulties trying to figure out how to get this to record from this new computer camera. So until I get it figured out, I guess I will be recording and uploading videos. So I do apologize for any confusion or frustrations this may have caused, but hopefully the information that I'm giving you today is a blessing and a benefit to your home, or to anyone that you know dealing with infertility or barrenness, excuse me, and conception. So I wanted to talk about a few of the myths that are out there regarding why married couples are not having children, or not being able to conceive even though they are actively trying. Okay, of course, with the medical field and their different testings and their different modes and methods of operation, some of the things that I say may not agree with what they already have out there, and it's just because I don't believe that the medical field how do I say that that what's the word, what do they call it? If I say alternative medicine, what they say, what is it, y'all? Oh my gosh, I cannot think right now. I'm really having a brain conundrum right now. What do you say? What is it called? Aha! Traditional medicine. Okay, got it. So, with modern traditional medicine, their beliefs, their approaches, their methods of seeing what's going on with the human body, whether it's male or female, are completely different, and they're not normal or natural. So, a lot of what I'm going to say may not totally agree or line up with what they say. Of course, because their information is based off of research of breaking down and tearing apart the female and the male body. And my research and my study is based off of the function of the male and the female body and how it responds to different psychological approaches, different spiritual approaches, different mental, which is psychological still, and physical approaches on stimulation or destimulation. So what I might say, some things might be accurate with what they say, but then I'm pretty sure a lot of it is not. Just because we as a society have been taught from a field of study where they like to separate each part of your body from its functionality, from the organs to the limbs to the vessels, the capillaries, the arteries, to the cell, to the lymph, everything. They separate everything and they put them in these different categories. And so when they look at helping, or I'm gonna say, okay, when they look at helping an individual, it's more of what they can take out and what they can destroy, instead of what they can help heal or help realign so that the body itself can heal. And so this is why what I'm going to talk about may not match exactly what they say. Okay, so let's just start with what they say. Their definition of infertility is when a couple, a married couple, male and female, are actively being intimate to conceive, but they don't conceive after actively trying for a year. That's their definition of infertility or barrenness. I think another word that they normally use is sterile, being sterile. So that is their definition of what it means to be barren or infertile. All right, so I'm going to give y'all the myths that I have, and I'm only going to give you the myths that I think majority of everybody is familiar with. Although there are many other myths out there regarding and pertaining to infertility, but I'm only going to give y'all 6, okay? Because I have quite a few notes, and I don't know how long I'm going to elaborate on it, because this is kind of, you know, spur of the moment, you know. So I don't have a PowerPoint, I don't have anything like that. So myth number 1, infertility is solely the woman's issue. Myth number 2, women will become infertile once they reach age 35 and above. Myth number 3, ejaculation means and confirms that males are fertile. Myth number 4, infertility does not happen to couples who are young, if you're a young man or if you're a young woman. Myth number 5, certain positions help promote fertility. Myth number 6, and your health does not impact fertility. Okay? That was the last and final myth. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this. Oh, let me say this before I start talking about it. I don't want anyone to feel like these myths were generally made to be against a specific gender or not. These myths have come about just because people, they just lacked understanding. We didn't have all of the information that we have now. We didn't even have the advancements in technology that we have now. And so because we have these advancements, now we're able to actually see the whole picture and see that the problems that actually exist in our bodies doesn't just start with a certain gender, and it doesn't just end with a certain gender, but we're able to see how both the male and female reproductive system play a part in whether or not there is conception, just as there is not conception. Okay, so I want to make sure that this is not making anybody feel like it's their fault, because it's not. Okay, it's not one person's fault. It's collectively and holistically just an occurrence that we just have to find the solutions to fix in both of our bodies. Okay, so I wanted to say that first, so that way nobody allows some type of spirit to come in and be like, oh, see. No, none of that. Okay, so I just want to let y'all know that first. Okay, so I want to say that we now know in this day and time that infertility affects both the male and the female. Okay, it affects both the man and the woman, and it has become a big issue in this generation. Okay, a major issue in this generation. And a lot of it is because this society has not only caused technological advancements in just being able to build and reconstruct and make civilization more industrialized, but the technology has also been used to replaced the normal and natural function of life. And that has played a major part on our health, and it's played a major part on our developing and growing food. It's played a major part on our storing and, you know, being able to properly have the right sources of water. It's played a major part on us functioning as human beings. We don't function the same as far as working. We've become a very lazy and slothful society, and so that has played a major part in contributing to infertility. I know that kind of sounds weird. Excuse me. I know somebody may be like, how in the world does that play a role in being infertile? Well, I'm going to tell you. It plays a lot, because a lot of the activities that cause our bodies to be in such a good shape, it came from us working and moving with our hands. If you pay attention to how society runs and operates now, everything is on the computer. Everything is digitized. Everything, I mean, all the way down to communication. All of us communicate like I'm communicating with you now. I'm making a video instead of us actually sitting down across the table one from another, and we're actually communicating, touching. You know, this society now in this time and generation has completely replaced that with technological advancements that not only affect us in an industrial setting, but it's affecting us with our food. It's affecting us with our water, our drinks. It's affecting us with our education. It's affecting us with our physical activity. And so our whole environment plays a part on how our body actually functions. Our bodies, whether or not you've been taught this, have a symbiotic relationship with our environment. And if our environment is technology, then it's not giving to our bodies what it needs. You know, our bodies don't need radiation. It doesn't need to be shocked by Wi-Fi signals. It doesn't need a high level of frequency coming from synthetic machines. No, it needs communication from vegetation. It needs communication from the wind. It needs communication from the water. It needs communication from one another. Not communicating like this, just TV, which this is fine. This is fine for education. It's fine, you know, in the event that you can't get together. But for this to be the norm, this is where it has affected our bodies all the way down to being able to reproduce or be fruitful and multiply. Okay. And so hopefully that made sense to you all. But the environment plays a major part on whether or not you are capable of producing good seed and capable of producing a good egg. Okay. So all right. So I have down here now this is on both. I'm still sticking with both man and the woman. Stress also plays a major part, if not majority of the part of why infertility happens. Stress is a big deal. Stress and tension, in fact, are oftentimes the root cause of not being able to conceive a child. Whether it be the male or the female. So I just want to talk about the male for a moment. I want to talk about the male for a moment on how the stress, the level of stress and the level of tension could actually cause him to become infertile. Most of the time when people are stressed out, you find an outlet. You find a way to deal with the stress. And being that we're in the type of society and the type of environment that we live in, where we don't actually have like a good way to relieve your stress. Let me see, a productive stress reliever, um, where you could just probably go outside and cut the grass, or go outside and harvest some food, go swim, go, those would be considered like productive ways to relieve stress. Well, here in Western society, over here in America, well, you go outside, you really don't have, there's not much agriculture. There's really, there's no water. The things that I'm actually offering as suggestive ways to be able to relieve stress, that's typically not available, not free. It's not available. And so what typically happens is, if a male was to go and try to figure out how he can relieve stress, what this society has to offer is poor quality of food, junk food, drugs, alcohol, just eating synthetic foods. When a man eats these type of foods, or he drinks these type of drinks, or if he binges on these things, this plays a major part on how the quality of sperm that is going to be developed within the first within 90 days. Okay, hold on, y'all.